What is going on, arcade nerds? I'm going to try something new here. This is a live video. Hopefully it works. But, anyways, someone sent me in this monitor for repair. This is a vector monitor. It looks like it came from an Omega race, judging this burn. So, I'm going to try to get it working. It doesn't work whatsoever. We turn it on, nothing happens. So, I guess video. Let's see if we can get this working entirely in this one single video and see how it goes. So, this is the same type of monitor. This is Electro Home Geo5. This is the same type of monitor that would be in, let's say, in Asteroids or so on. This happened to come from an Omega race. At least it looks like it did from the burn. And so, whatever I do here would be the same thing you would do for your Omega race at home, your Battle Zone, your Astro, so on. So, let's see if we can do this live and see how it goes. So, first things first, let's start tearing this sucker apart. I'm just gonna use my 1/4-inch bit. You know what, before I take that last screw out, let me discharge the tube. Okay, let me move the camera so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. See that little suction cup right there? What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the wire to the chassis. This is connected to the frame of the monitor. And I have that wire tied around this screwdriver. I'm just going to reach in behind that suction cup. And it wasn't charged. I kind of knew it wasn't charged anyways. Poor video quality, I see, huh? Hopefully that straightens up. I don't know. I'm using my cell phone here. Hopefully that isn't going to be poor. Hey, what's going on, Chad? I might miss some of you guys if you're going to leave a comment. That doesn't mean I don't care. It just means I'm being sidetracked. But if you guys leave any comments, I will say hi if I see it. But okay, so we have this out. That is our high voltage unit. And set my screws over there. See if I can move this camera up a little higher. It's a little better. So you don't have to remove this little bar here, but I'm going to, just so I can get some more space to work with. So let's pull this. Look at that. That's broken. I think I might have another piece of plastic that I'll give the guy, just so his chassis isn't dangling like that. Anyway, so I'm unplugging everything. Unplugging and screwing. Unscrewing. Only 2 screws hold this deflection board in. Okay, I just unplugged the yoke. Now, see this guy right here? Okay, so what I unplugged is I unplugged this guy here, and this guy here, and this guy here. And I also unplugged this guy here. That was the first thing I unplugged. So, actually, this looks pretty clean. You can see someone's done some work to it before. Someone's definitely done some work to it before. Look at all that. Somebody jumped wires across stuff. That's weird. Anyways, not necessary. not necessary at all. Let me get my chair rolled up here. Oh. Okay. Hey, Kelly, can you look at the phone and tell me if whatever I'm doing is in screen?
It is not.
Okay. We'll make it happen.
There we go. Now it is.
So right now, I just took 2 screws out. I'm removing the Faraday cage off of this high voltage unit. And for starters, let's just do a simple cap kit. Let's pull these caps. Okay, I'm going to pull these 2 big ones. These are both the same size. They are 50 volt, 1000 microfarad. My gun's clogged. Of course. It's funny because right before his video started, I said to myself, hey, let me make sure I can find that declogging tool for my gun just in case it clogs. And did you find it?
No.
And I couldn't find it. Okay, so let's put this cap in. Put this cap in. You know, to be honest, these 2 caps right here, the 1000 microfarad to 50 volts, they don't go bad. They really don't. But, well, you got it apart, and you're going to do a cap or whatever, you might as well put new caps in. Keep in mind, this stuff's like 30, 40 years old now. The tool I should remember to get, Kelly.
What?
Cutters.
Ah. There's someone. Oh, there.
My Kelly. So we got 2 caps in. And let's pull this guy, this cap, and this cap. Always fail. These are the ones that always fail. Dang it, Kelly.
Still clogged.
I'm clogged. Yeah. It's not even sucking out anymore. Okay, that cap was 4.7 microfarad, 160 volts. And here is my new cap. So Kelly is running around trying to find something to unclog the gun. Yeah. Hopefully this will work in this video. I'm putting my ass on the line here. I still don't have a good desoldering iron because it's clogged. So let's see what we could do. Look at that. That's definitely clogged. Look out, Kelly. I'm going to try to stick a capacitor lead in my gun. There's a tool kind of like this. You stick it in these guns to unclog it, and don't know where the hell it's at. See if that helps. I don't think it did. Yeah. Needs to be longer. That's what she said. Needs to be longer. Oh man, as soon as we go live, you gotta love it. This one I'm gonna do, since my gun's not working, I'm gonna pull it out and pull that out. Not the best way, but that's how we're doing it. Okay, this is a 50 volt 47 microfarad, and here's our 50 volt 47 microfarad. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to open that hole up without the desoldering iron. That'll work. So caps may not be the issue here. May not be the issue here, but you definitely want to do it when you tear something like this apart. So how are you guys dealing with the coronavirus ordeal? You stuck in your house? Or do you have one of those jobs where you have to go to work anyways? And all that? Hey, what's going on, Arcade Doc? Well, alright. So that is capped. And what I'm going to do now is, this is always sticky and nasty. And I hate getting sticky shit all over my hands. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to get some coronavirus relief paper. And I'm going to pull this sticky boot off of here. Okay. This is what I'm going to do. Rubbing alcohol is like the magic solution for this sticky crap. These are always sticky, and I don't have a true understanding of how it gets sticky. I don't know if the plastic is degrading, or if the high voltage alone is pulling stuff out of the air. I don't know. But that's way cleaner. So let me get the other side. More alcohol. Evidently, your cell phone still makes noises when you go live on YouTube. Much better. Okay. Here's my high voltage diode. Looks much better. Some sticky crap. Okay. And when you take off these boots, there's something you want to look at. Sometimes the springs, there's a spring inside each of these boots, okay? And they press against the high voltage diode, okay? And sometimes those springs will rust. So as you can see, hopefully, this one is nice and clean, and as I can see, you might not be able to, this one is nice and clean. So I think we're good with that. Okay, so, you know this diode has to go in a certain way, right? You can't just put it any old way. You see this mark? There's a band around this side. Okay, that's the anode. That needs to go towards the tube. So this points to the tube, and the side without the band is going to go to the flyback. And I think we are good. Okay. I know I'm missing some comments. Hello to everyone. This is nasty too. Let's clean that up. Now, in the chat there, for a second, I seen Arcade Doc 524. Was that the name, Kelly? Is it 524?
Yeah.
You guys need to check out Arcade Doc's channel. Don't do it now, but when you're done watching this, that's much better. Check out Arcade Doc 524 on YouTube. The guy knows what he's doing, and it's a good channel. He repairs boards all the time. And he's relatively new, so because of the way YouTube works, they kind of hide all the new guys. He's worth the checking out. He really is. But okay, so I did that. Oh, you know what? Let's do your basic reflow on the bottom. What I'm going to do is this doesn't look very bad. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reflow these header pins. Why would I do this? Well, over years of being jumbled around, connected and disconnected from the harness and so on, these pins can move around. And from being moved around all those years, they create what's called cold soldering joints. And so me reflowing that is closing the joint again. But okay, so I'm just going to set that aside, and let's just hope that works later. If not, we'll have to go deeper into it. But usually, that's all it is. But okay, so this is broken on the original chassis, and I think I have some of these pieces of plastic, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in before I send this back to the guy. This isn't really dirty enough to clean. I'm gonna let this pass. But okay, first things first. Let's do some. Well, you know what? Let's see if there's anything wrong with it. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna test these fuses. If any of these fuses are to be bad, that's a big red flag. If any of these fuses are blown, then you probably have a blown transistor on the case, on the chassis. But I gotta set the continuity test. And here's a tip when you test fuses: don't touch your meter on the fuse. Touch your meter on the fuse holder. Okay, so we have a beep, so that's a good continuity. So that means these three fuses are good. And right here, that fuse is good, and that fuse is good. That's an excellent sign. That's telling me that these case transistors are probably just fine. So we're still going to cap it. So let's replace this guy. This is a 160 volt at 47 microfarad. You think you got it cleaned out, the gun? Possibly. Oh, look at that.
Did I get it?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, you did.
Long.
Someone's been through this before, and they put all these wires across. Somebody put there, and somebody put through. Somebody put wires everywhere throughout this chassis. Totally unnecessary. I'm not sure why they did that. But okay. Let's put our replacement in. This one's rated at 200 volts, but that's okay. When you replace caps, you can use larger, higher voltage caps, but you can't always use a higher capacitance cap. Does that make sense? That looks pretty on there. Ah, I see why someone did that. Because at some point, someone pulled the trace. You see that? So they put that wire there to fix their screw up. It's too quiet. What can we do, Kelly? Let's make some noise.
Don't make noise.
I make all kind of weird noises all day.
Bad noises.
Dad noises. Okay, you know what? What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to reflow these. All these headers. Once again, we're just going to reflow headers. If I don't reply to anyone's comment, that doesn't mean I don't care. I'm not looking. Someone has reflowed the spore. Someone has been all through this chassis before. Hopefully it's not a basket case. We can get this working. Okay. Let's put that back on. And see how, you know what? No, while it's out, let's set that aside. And let's test these case transistors. Case transistors here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to test each of these transistors, and I'm going to show you how you can test your transistors at home. Now, let's say you have your transistor. One's going to be an NPN transistor, and one's going to be a PNP transistor. Okay? Here's we have your 3716 and 3792. I'm going to set my meter to, Kelly, can you see that in the camera?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I'm going to set it to diode test. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another probe is going to touch this pin, that pin, nothing. So I'm going to get the next probe. I'm going to touch that to the case. I'm going to touch this pin, that pin. Look at that. I have a reading. Okay. So next a voltage drop is what you want. And we have 0.56. That's just fine. Okay. But now, since I have that, I'm going to take this pin off of the case. We're going to connect it here. Now we have another 0.6 reading. Okay, so you want to get that reading twice. You want to get 2.6 readings on every transistor, and when reading, or if one of the leads is wide open, or if another one of the leads is a dead short, then you need to replace the transistor. So basically, I'm going to do that exact same thing, and there's no method, crazy in-depth method to it. I'm going to randomly probe till I get some readings. Okay, so I'm going to touch the case. We're going to go here. Nothing. We're going to touch the case. We're going to go here. Nothing. We're going to switch leads. Touch the case. We have a reading. 0.6-ish. Over here, 0.6-ish. Okay, that's a good transistor. So now I'm going to move on down the line. I'm going to move this meter out of the way. Let me prop it so I can see the meter. 0.6. 0.6, that's another good transistor. 0.6. 0.6 is another good transistor. I suspected these would be good anyways because there was no blown fuses. But you might want to check before you start putting crap back together. 0.6 again. 0.6 again. Okay, so now we know that 1, 2, 3, 4 of these transistors are good. Now, if you're working with a Wells Gardner 6100, there's going to be 2 more transistors there. Or if you're working with some of the earlier asteroids or lunar monitors, there will be 2 transistors mounted on a heat sink. You want to check those also. Those transistors are used for the voltage regulation. All right, so let's put this back together. And I have a feeling. I've got a feeling that this is going to work. Okay. I never did get that pin yet, so I'm only going to put 1 screw in for now. Kelly, what were you trying to show me on the phone? What? I missed whatever you were trying to show me. Oh, Greg Olson, thanks, man. You are now like the 3rd person to send me money. I appreciate that. I really. So for now, I'm just going to put 1 screw in. We're still testing. I need to put the put a replacement stand off there. All right, let's reconnect the high voltage. Now, even though we discharged this tube, there's a possibility that this tube could have recharged itself. But how? How can a tube recharge itself? It does. Let me explain why. There's something called dielectric absorption. For example, this paint on the outside of this tube conducts electricity. Think of it as or Aquadag. There's another coating on the inside, okay, and that's a sprayed-on conductive paint, okay. So we have an inner layer, a piece of glass, and an outer layer, okay. Now, if there's a potential difference of electrons between this plate and that plate, what will happen is this will create a giant capacitor. So this tube is a giant capacitor. Now, with a capacitor, when you have a high enough voltage and you're reaching the point where it wants to jump through its insulation, it does what's called dielectric absorption. Some electrons, believe it or not, are forced into the insulator. So in this case, glass. So some electrons are forced into the insulator, and then when you discharge it, after a while, after some time goes by, some of the electrons leave the insulator and go into their plates. And so that's how a tube recharges itself, minutes after you discharge it. So anyways, let's say you discharged it, right? Don't trust it after that. Discharge it twice. Discharge it once when you take it apart, and discharge it once when you reassemble. Just for giggles. You like giggles. Okay. Now before I put that on, I should probably put these screws back in. I hate not being able to read the comments. Kelly, have you seen any more complaints about the video quality?
Let me get back. Just that one, I think.
Maybe it straightened up now.
We got somebody watching from Australia, I see. Scott Bryan.
Okay, so now my suction cup is on there. I'm going to put these screws back in.
Video is still bad.
Is it? Oh, well.
Nothing we can
I
do.
tried.
We're trying. This is our first time going live on here.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the cell phone's fault or if it's the... maybe I have slow internet. I don't know. Hey, there, there's a third screw. What do I do with the damn third screw? I'm losing parts. There we go. I forget whose repair this is.
See if it's on the box.
Yeah, see if it's on the box.
Frank Clark.
Frank Clark, this is your monitor, if you're watching. Very, very good chance this will fire up and run. There's not much to these Vector monitors. In fact, there's a whole stigma. Everyone thinks, oh, Vectors are so complicated. They're the easiest ones. They're the easiest ones to work on. Except maybe a Geo8. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have a little test rig. This is just power and power only. So I'm going to turn this on. And what I'm going to hope for is a dot in the center of the screen. So let me rotate this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the brightness and contrast knobs. It may not be in the screen, but that's what I'm going to do. Okay, Kelly, go ahead and plug in my power. Okay, we do have a spot killer, which is to be expected. I'm going to mess with these. Oh, there we go. There's our dot. So we have a dot. That's what I wanted to see. So, this one I'm going to do. Go ahead and unplug it, Kelly. I'm going to get... We did not have a dot at all before, so that's a very good sign. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use my buddy Fred's. He made a little game. It's a game that can plug directly into a monitor, and I use it to test monitors. It's easier than connecting it to... The video quality is terrible. I'm sorry. I gotta figure out a different way next time then, I guess. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect this little thing. This is actually a prototype of his, and the Z intensity is way off. So the picture will look crappy, guaranteed. But it'll look, I'll know from looking at it if it's good or not. In other words, if the Z intensity is too high. Okay, let me plug this into the power, and let me flip this around. Okay, go ahead and plug in the power, Kelly. I hear it. I hear chatter. So something's... Oh, there we go. In Gyrox. Yeah, like I said before, this test rig here is wrong. The Z intensity is way too strong. But there we go. There, that's better. Now we're playing Gyrox. Come on, focus, camera. There we go. Anyways, thanks for watching. Not that big of a deal. It's an easy ordeal. If you didn't have to talk the whole time, you'd probably get it done real quick. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate all you guys. I'm going to look through the comments and say hi to you guys and so on in a minute here. Anyways, have a good one.